Dozens of migrants rush past shocked California beachgoers after Speedboat suddenly washes ashore in wild video. Imagine sitting on the beach and all of a sudden there's this boat just filled with people just bombing towards shore. And you're like, what? What are we, is he going to slow? No, he's not slowing down. And the boat just boom, right onto shore. A dozen people just pile out and go running for the nearest street. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing in California right now, because California, San Diego, is getting all the migrants Texas isn't taking. Let's get into it. Here we go.
San Diego, where this dramatic video shows a speedboat. It's racing ashore. That boat believed to have up to 20 migrants on board. It nearly hits a surfer in the water. You can see it there. When it gets ashore, you see the migrants jump out and then start running to cars to take them away. Jorge Ventura has the very latest on all of this. So, Jorge, the video is alarming. Has the state seen an increase in this type of smuggling?
Good morning, Kelly. Yes, it has. And this type of smuggling usually is rare, but now officials in San Diego are saying that these scenes are becoming more frequently, becoming a safety and security concern for residents in the area. Now, take a look at this video. This is from Saturday in Carlsbad, just north of San Diego. Dozens of illegal immigrants on a speedboat heading straight onto the beach, almost hitting a surfer in the water. Bystanders looked on shocked as the illegal immigrants jumped at the boat, escaping in cars waiting for them. While the majority of illegal immigrants do turn themselves into Border Patrol agents, these groups of illegal immigrants are seeking to avoid federal agents altogether, which local officials say is a major red flag.
Smugglers don't operate with any regard to public safety. The boat, I watched the videos of this boat come in on Saturday, in the middle of a Saturday, with kids in the water, people sunbathers, and the boat pulled up high speed with zero regard to safety. We don't know if these men were simply migrants or whether they were just looking for a better life or if they were on terrorist watch lists.
Earlier this year, this video was provided to News Nation from a resident in La Jolla, California, who took this video in disbelief as a boat carrying a group of illegal immigrants landed on the beach. This group also escaped in cars waiting for them. In response to these events, San Diego officials are urging state and federal officials to bring in more Border Patrol agents and to increase Coast Guard patrols to prevent this type of smuggling. And it's important to remember these group of illegal immigrants, by entering through the waters and landing on California beaches, are going completely undetected and evading federal agents. Federal agents say that these type of illegal immigrant groups actually won't even be registered as gotaways. So literally going completely undetected, Kelly.
I'm not sure if it was this incident, but there was another incident, and I believe this was Carlsbad that we just watched. There was one in La Jolla where the kid was in the water. He was a surfer. He was also a videographer, taking cool shots, barrel roll, the wave going by, that kind of stuff. They showed his videography, and it was great. I mean, he's a surf videographer. He's outdoor videographer. Well, he takes a video of one of these boats, and it comes not too far from him, and he's on his board and he's going towards the shore, and this boat just boom right towards the shore. People jump out, hustling down the beach, and they go to the public access area for the road, go up there, and they meet some car, and away they go. Away they go. They're not even looking for Customs and Border Protection to, provide their typical Uber service into the United States, into a migration, center, and then we'll take you to Denver, Chicago, wherever you want to go. They're not even looking for that. So these folks are literally just looking to illegally get in, and this is how they're doing it. 1 by land, 2 by sea, something like that, right? Yeah, it's the sea. Dozens of migrants were caught on camera jumping off a speedboat that came ashore at California Beach over the weekend and running into the nearby city in what locals are saying is becoming a regular occurrence. A regular occurrence. From what I read, a lot of these beaches, they will have between 1 and 4 of these types of incidents per week. Per week. It's just become, this is another way for them to get in. The smugglers bring them in. Video posted online shows the speedboat racing towards the shore in Carlsbad on Saturday, narrowly missing a nearby surfer. These guys do not care. They could give a crap less. And there's a lot of drownings in, coming in. What the smugglers are doing is they're telling their folks that, oh yeah, it's a lot safer coming in by sea. It's a lot safer coming in by sea. But yeah, you got that whole drowning thing out in the desert. You're walking through the desert. The coyotes just abandon you. The smugglers abandon you. Yeah, you might die of thirst. You might die of dehydration. Yeah. Heat stroke, whatever. But in the water, man, something happens to your boat and you're loaded down in a boat that's, meant for 5 or 6 people, and you're in a boat that's got 15, dozen, whatever it is. Not good, not good. Almost as soon as it landed, a group of adult migrants were seen jumping off the boat and sprinting towards a row of oceanfront houses. I am sure these folks in their ocean view, unobstructed ocean view homes are really pumped about having a bunch of illegals dump a boat on their beach and then scramble through their neighborhood. Where are they going, Mom? Where are they going? Ah, they're going into the interior of the United States. I mean, this is what it's become, right? You've always had this kind of thing going on, but just in, far fewer numbers. But now there's this massive push for everybody to get in while they can. Get in while the getting's good, right? And the getting's good right now. So why wouldn't they take a speedboat and just dump it on the shore? So who takes care of the speedboat? Does the Coast Guard come by? Does the city have to take care of that? Do the federales come in and, take care of this at all? Who knows, right? You just got some boat. What's up with the boat there? Yeah, just some smuggler, drove it over here and, dropped it off, and we got to take care of it. I'm sure 100% these boats are stolen. Is what smuggler? Oh yeah, let me get that boat registered before I take my group of people onto the beach. So the migrants were then seen piling into a black SUV near Ocean Street, but the driver appeared to be in such a rush that one woman almost fell out as it started moving. Did you see that at the end of the video? The migrants were then seen piling into a black SUV near Ocean Street, but the driver appeared to be in such a rush that one woman almost fell out as it started moving. Did you see that at the end? I mean, the woman was barely hanging on the inside back in the passenger seat. Other migrants who were not able to fit inside the vehicle were then seen crossing the street and walking into the affluent city. We'll catch up with you later. We'll come back and get you. Maybe. I just didn't get a big enough car. Car rental agency. Oh, I mean, the car we stole, it just wasn't big enough. Should have got that big station wagon with the wood paneling, right? It looked like a planned deal, resident Susan Hargis told Kuzi. You think? Yeah, this is all organized, right? This is all organized. All right, and be waiting for us here. We're just gonna boogie on up the beach, and jog to the car, and off we go. Off we go. Local authorities have zero chance of catching this because it happened so quickly. I was reading one account where somebody was watching a boat come up on shore just like this, because this happens pretty often. And the boat was coming in so fast, and it was coming into a beach filled with people. I was watching one video and reading a description, and somebody on the beach who was watching this boat come in super fast. It was a different boat. It's just screaming for the shore, right? Full throttle, just hammer down. They were going in because, why if you're going to do something illegally, why take longer if you can, go fast and it goes faster, right? So somebody on the beach was watching, and they were pretty close to the lifeguards, and they thought that it was some kind of planned exercise. Like, oh, this is just something that's, these guys have going on. It must be some kind of, Coast Guard safety thing. What happens when a really fast boat comes into shore? But the lifeguard was so shocked, they didn't know they were coming, that they all just kind of sat there and watched it. And they're like, what in the world is going on? Oh yeah, that boat just beached, and a dozen illegals got out. Now they're just roaming throughout the United States, just willy-nilly. Shenanigans, right? Shenanigans. The man who filmed the incident said it looked like a military exercise. As he told KGTV, he counted 22 people jumping off the speedboat. 22 people. I mean, these are not cruise boats, right? They are not cruise boats. to see it live like that, I mean, even police and border patrol said they'd never caught it live like I did, the unidentified resident said. Well, if you're at the beach long enough now, this is literally what you're going to record. This is what you're going to see. You're going to see boats, in border areas, Tijuana, San Diego, just coming on in. It's what we're doing. It's 2024. All forms of illegal immigration, all forms of just, coming into the U.S., they're accepted. It's okay. It's still illegal, so you got to hustle through this whole drill. You don't want to get caught. So to see one coming from the shore at 40, 45 miles an hour and not turning, it was like a movie. And the lifeguards were just sitting there. So I thought it was a planned, staged event. Border Patrol agents were notified by police that the boat came ashore at around 11 a.m. on Saturday and found an abandoned vessel consistent with human smuggling. Spokesperson for the agency told the Post. No arrests have been made, and an investigation is ongoing, the spokesman added. But the video came as the San Diego border sector recorded the highest number of encounters in the country over the past week. See how that's shifted? Shifted away from the El Paso sector. It's shifted away from the Tucson sector. Now it's in California. And we've talked about this. Hey, when you take one sector of the border and you fill it up like Texas has done with barbed wire and security and Texas National Guard, then the cartel is just going to push all their coyotes to take folks elsewhere. And right now, San Diego. So I'm sure it'll work out fine because state of California isn't pushing back like the state of Texas is. State of California, oh yeah, just come on in. Let our Customs and Border Protection, let them just, provide you some Uber service wherever you like to go. Where would you like to go? Denver? Even though Denver is, they're in the process of getting the word out that, they're no longer the sanctuary city that they once were. There are no longer the freebies in Denver that they once were handing out. That's not a thing anymore. Those days are over. Denver's had a change of heart, and their virtue signaling has gone absolutely away. We don't have the budget for this anymore. Yeah, who knew? Who knew it was going to cost millions upon millions upon millions just to house these people? It's shocking how much this costs. Meanwhile, Denver's homeless population just continues to rise. So between 2020 and 2023, there's also been a 139% increase in human smuggling events. The time frame of 2020 and 2023. What does that signify? What has happened within that time period? Oh, yeah, the current administration. There's just that little tidbit. That's exactly what's going on, right? Current administration doesn't do any border protection. Yeah. They don't even let Customs and Border Protection do their job. They just basically hamstring them and make them into an Uber or travel agent. Where would you like to go, Mr. and Mrs. Illegal and family? Where would you like us to take you? We can take you any one of these self-described sanctuary cities. Wouldn't you like to go there? Would you like to go there? Martha's Vineyard. I hear it's nice this time of year. So at the same time, nearly 8,000 people have been apprehended while trying to enter the U.S. illegally through the Pacific Ocean, its coastlines, or its inlets. This is just not shocking at all. I mean, this is ongoing, and you'll see, the big wall that you've got in San Diego. All right, on this side, it's Mexico with Tijuana. This side, it's the Estados Unidos with San Diego. And so, they bum rush the wall that's there that goes out into the ocean because you can't really, you're not going to put the wall up on the ocean. They literally swim around the end and they're in the United States. So many different ways you can get into the U.S. That border is so big. Migrant drowning deaths off the coast of San Diego County have just also spiked in recent years, with 33 migrant deaths between 20 and 2023, compared to just one in the previous 4 years. Let's see, 1 versus 33. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Kind of tells the story, doesn't it? Virtually none to a bunch. Researchers have hypothesized that the rise could be linked to the increase in the border fence height from 17 to 30 feet, prompting some migrants to cross via water. Wow. How about just the sheer numbers of people coming across the southern border? What about that? That's what I would clock this up to. Where they're coming in, That's going to constantly change, isn't it? Smugglers have convinced migrants that the maritime environment is an easier route, with the exception of that whole drowning scenario. Yeah. Drowning, that's a tough one to come back from. Yep. And drownings happen so quick. It's more of a surefire thing, said Brandon Tucker, the director of Customs and Border Air Patrol's Marine Operations in San Diego, adding that people with hip, knee, or other mobility issues may also prefer to travel by boat. And in fact, it's not. Ocean smuggling is so dangerous. Yeah, there's that, you got multiple, fuel tanks on the boat. Those could explode. That does happen every now and then. Got the whole drowning thing. You've got the boat is overfilled to capacity. It could capsize and then you drown, right? Yeah, so many different ways on the water. I'm actually surprised that the numbers aren't far greater in how many people that they knowingly have had drown or be killed coming in through the water. I'm surprised that's not way more. He noted that agents may not know what they are approaching when they pull up next to a ship carrying migrants, as their radar cannot detect anything stored below deck. They could be helping someone who developed hypothermia during the voyage, or they could be pulling guns on a drug smuggler, Tucker said. So when you see some of the aerial footage that they have on these smuggler boats, if they've got like a covered center console, they can't see what's going on. Or if they have a, small cuddy cabin, whatever they call it up front, underneath the front end. If they have a small area like that, you don't know what folks are doing. And you don't know what they've got going on, what they've got on the boat, what that all looks like. Whereas a bunch of the boats that oftentimes come through, they're just wide open. There's no covering at all. It's like it's like some kind of fishing boat that's designed to haul a bunch of people, and away they go. So when you're in close quarters like that, it can be very dynamic and very dangerous. You mean having smugglers bring you into the U.S. via boat that there's no safety precautions on, there's no precautions whatsoever, and when they're coming into shore, they're just throttle wide open, just going? That's not safe? Yeah, right. Of the utmost concern to Carlsbad Mayor Keith Blackburn are smuggling operations, he said at a news conference on Monday. What are they bringing in with them? What drugs? What weapons? And who's on the terror watch list? Who's coming in via boats? The mayor said, listing the unknowns about the migrants. And that can be said about the illegals coming in throughout, everywhere throughout the United States. But more specifically, these folks, because these folks are not turning themselves over to Customs and Border Protection or even local authorities. In the case of Texas, they're not doing that. They're not doing that. They are. And these folks are not even considered getaways, right? Because there's nobody to count them as getaways because they're just, boom, gone into the interior. We don't know who these people are. We don't know where they went or where they're going, San Diego County Supervisor Jim Desmond added. The two, as well as other local officials, are now pushing for a greater investment in equipment, personnel, and technology to monitor and intercept unauthorized vehicles. We need harsher penalties on human smugglers, Desmond said. We need the state and federal officials to bring more resources, whether it's more Coast Guard or National Guard. It does seem like they could devote more resources to this, but then you could say that about the entire southern border. I mean, it is thousands of miles, right, of area that these law enforcement officers have to contend with. And so there's always a hole somewhere, right? You can't secure the whole border. But with what's gone on the last 3.5 years, that's just made it so much worse, because then all these folks throughout the world are under this idea that, hey, we get to the U.S., we're golden, because they'll bring us in, they'll give us housing, they'll give us debit card loaded up with some money, they'll give us, just basically we'll give them everything they want. I mean, everything they want. Representative Mike Levin is also calling on House Speaker Mike Johnson to bring forth a bill that would double the range in which Customs and Border agents could operate, stretching the U.S. Customs water from 12 to 24 nautical miles. Why shouldn't they be able to do that already? You know what I mean? It's like, are we just trying to limit what law enforcement is doing here? Yeah, we are. That is 100% correct. Let's just give them the most odds to get into the U.S. We'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens. In the meantime, the Biden administration is allocating $45 million to California to deal with the migrant crisis, according to KGTV. Yeah, no matter what amount of money you spend, it's not with the way that you've got border protection going right now. It doesn't really matter because nobody's pushing these illegals away except Texas. California's not doing it. New Mexico's not doing it. Arizona's not doing it. I mean, and when you read about the arrests made, are they really arresting them? I mean, I know they say they're arresting them, but when you get arrested, you normally get booked and you get taken in and you spend a night or two in jail until you figure out your bail or whatever the situation before you can get in front of a judge. But they're not even going that far. They do this arrest process, and I'm talking about Customs and Border Protection. They arrest folks, but it's not even really like that, right? It's just not even a thing because these illegals know this is just part of the song and dance we do before they give us a free ride to whatever destination we want. As far as Migrant Center, take us to the Migrant Center, and from there, we're home free if, they answer a handful of questions and get through this process, and they're not a criminal member that's easily identifiable on the watch list. It's so crazy. It's so crazy that this is where border protection sits in 2024, right? I mean, we just, in some of these areas, we don't even have what you could point to and say is a marginally protected border. It's just, you got nothing. It's like just people just coming in. Is anybody going to follow up on all those illegals? Nah, it's San Diego. This is just what we're doing. We're just letting people, roll on in. No big deal. No big deal. Sure, it'll work out fine. Even though the mayor, we don't know who the F these people are, but let's just welcome them in. They're newcomers. Let's welcome them in. Sure, this will work out fine. Now, that's the issue, right? You don't know who these people are. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what their intentions are. And especially these folks who are coming in and don't want to get caught. So what's the deal there? How's that working? When these people are not turning themselves in. So that's where's the vast majority. Okay, I made it. Here I am. Yeah, don't cut any barbed wire on my behalf. I'm already here. Please give me a ride to the Migrant Center, and I'll take that free bus ride up to wherever. We'll just hang out there, Martha's Vineyard, Oregon, wherever. It's whole thing is just, it's so mind-boggling from the standpoint of Customs and Border Protection isn't really trying to protect the border. That's the big misnomer. They're not doing their job, period. And it's allowing all of this other stuff to take place, which at lower levels has always existed. But now it's kind of like there's this green light, there's a green light on the situation. And it's like, all right, guys, let's go. Let's see what happens here. I'm going to drive 45 miles an hour into a beach, and then we all got to, just book it out of there because this is all illegal. Doing some little human smuggling. It's an insane scenario, and need to make those votes count come this November, right? Otherwise, I don't see any way around this. Because all the money in the world at this point in time really isn't going to do much difference if the Customs and Border Protection can't simply do their job. And under Biden, they're not allowed to. They're hamstrung. It's like, this is your role in this little deal. We're going to bring as many million illegals into the country, and then we'll just see how it goes. It should be fine. It should be okay. It should all be good. All right, that's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. Love to have you subscribe. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Share this content. That's the best thing you can do for this channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next segment. Bye for now.